Every love story has a beginning. Some start with a glance, some with a wink, others with a twist of fate. A few begins in ways you could never imagine. Welcome to How I Met Mine, the new podcast where real people share real stories that could be straight out of a fairy tale. The love, the laughter, the joy, and everything in between. Because, let's be honest, queer love stories don't always get the spotlight they deserve. We've had to find connections in unexpected places and situations. I am your host, Bisi Alimi, and I'm going to guide you through the soundtracks of love and connection. Today, I've got two amazing guests with me in the house. As usual, my guests are always amazing. They're always like, oh. Please put your hands together. Drum roll for Chima and Caro. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me on How I Met Mine.
Of course.
My first question to my guests has always been this. How did you two meet?
Do you want to take it?
No, you can.
Hinge.
Oh, that's interesting. Like the New York mayor. You know, he met his wife on Hinge.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then Hinge went, like, they got the massive following after that.
Imagine.
People were going there and saying, oh, if this man is this man like this is there, maybe I can find one. So what's the story?
Yeah, I think we matched on Hinge.
Start by how we matched on Hinge now.
No, you tell the story then.
No, I just mention some other parts.
I don't want to be in trouble and miss out anything. So, yes, she saw one of my pictures and said, okay, this one. And she matched me.
Nah, that's not it.
Okay, you take the lead.
On my Hinge, I had that. I don't want to talk too much. If you don't want to see within like a few days of matching, forget about it. So I want someone that
we'll meet.
We're not going to be doing long talking of 3 months.
On the
if
phone,
we match, we talk online, boom, let's do it in person. And then she had something similar on her own profile too.
Yes, I had written in that I don't want to go back and forth on text message or phone. Let's meet up in person, see if we have chemistry. So that was the connecting
thing, was that we both just wanted to meet in person over just chatting online for long periods. And when she put like on where I had that on my Hinge, I went to her profile, I saw the same time, I said, my kind of person. And
the universe is speaking.
Yes. Yeah. And that was it. We went from Hinge to the cafe, the first date in the Green Park.
Yes.
No, it wasn't Green Park. It was St. James. Park. Was it St. James Park or Hyde Park?
Either way, it was the first time we met, and it was for a picnic. We were supposed to meet in Pret a Manger and sit and then take it from
posh.
Is Pret considered posh?
I mean, the name sounds posh. It's not like Starbucks. That sounds like
I know, it sounds
South East London.
I know.
Pret a Manger sounds like a Hyde Park kind of thing.
So we met up in Pret a Manger. And as soon as I saw her, I said, she's beautiful. She's so beautiful. But then I realized that she was using a walking aid to walk. And I was like, she didn't tell me. No problem. So I made a conscious decision to just act like it didn't exist. I was opening the doors for her. I didn't discuss it. If she wanted to talk to me about it, she'll talk to me about it. Let's focus on the human element, the connection. Let's talk. Let's get to know it. I was holding her jacket. I was like, do you want me to get that for you?
She was like a gentleman. I was not used to that because I've always been the person in like the person who is opening doors, who is paying for stuff, who is taking the lead. So to have somebody take over that role, it was new for me. It was nice. It was different. I could just step back and let somebody lead. I really liked you doing all of that on the first date. I could tell you're bringing your game.
She was like, you know what? I want to take her home.
She was like, do you want anything from Pret? I was like, you're buying something for me. Hey, God, I beg. When did this one start? It was cool. It was nice. And then we went to the park after.
Yeah, we went for a picnic.
And she brought like the blanket thing, spread it on the floor. And because I was using the walking aid, which I didn't tell you because to me it wasn't important, you know. I don't want that to be like the first thing that people know about me, that I have a disability or that I use this. Or I don't want that to be like the focal point. So that's why I never even tell anybody about it. They just see me on that day and they see that, she uses the walking aid and she has mobility issues. Cool. Let's move on from that. So we got to the park and then I realized when we get to the park that sitting on the floor is going to be a problem.
She went to play. She said, she's the one who initiated.
I'm the one that actually suggested the park, but I got there and I realized that this is going to be a problem because I have mobility issues and it's hard for me to sit on the floor. But I just I was like, if I will suffer today, as long as I will not die, let's do it. And then we sat on the floor and she also has back pain.
I didn't mention either.
And it's almost sitting there on the floor, struggling to do this date while we're both suffering with chronic back pain.
Do you want to lean on my leg? Do you want to sit like this? But we were there for hours and hours and hours.
And what were you guys talking about?
Just getting to know each other. I feel like when it just clicks, it's just easy to talk to somebody, you know. It doesn't feel like you have to think. It just comes naturally because the person is willing to divulge and you're also willing to share. So when one person is willing to divulge and you're willing to share, it just keeps going on and it doesn't feel like you have to make an effort, to have conversation. And at the end of the day, when it was time for her to go home, I was like, oh, my friends are on the other side of, it was St. James Park, I remember now. My friends are on the other side of the park. I have to go and meet them. And then just like on a whim, I was like, do you want to come and meet my friends?
Wasn't that very scary for you? Because, you're just meeting up for the first time.
Do you know that? I didn't even think about it. It was just something, I have ADHD, so I tend to do things on just like that without thinking about it. And I was like, do you want to meet my friends? And she too, instead of saying she wants to go home, it's too soon, she's like, sure. And then she comes to the other side of the park and there's 10 of them sitting down there. And one of my friends at the time, she's like typical African, you know how we don't have filters now, and immediately she just sits down. She's like, hey, what are your intentions towards Chima? She didn't even say how you did. She just went straight for the jugular, started asking her really difficult questions that you should not be asking somebody on the first date. But what I really liked about Karl was that even though this was the first date, she looked my friend in the eye and she answered all the questions seriously, like how you would do when you're meeting a parent. Exactly. Yeah.
But Karl, answering this question, were you so sure at that moment with that little time you spent with her that, she's not going anywhere?
Do you know what? Everything was just flowing so seamlessly. It didn't feel uncomfortable. Nothing felt awkward. The questions they were asking, I was even more intrigued to get to know her because these are people that are protective of her. And they care about her and they want to get to know me. So she has a community that really cares about her. And it's a reflection on her. If you have these people that are genuinely connected to you and concerned about you, then you must be a great person. So, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't think about it. I was just, this is difficult. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. If you're asking, come on. I don't mind. It was.
So the first date went really well.
Yep.
And at what point did you both or individually felt like, I want to see her again, and I kind of feel I have a future with her?
Wait, the future parts, I think even from the first date, it just felt natural, and that was the biggest inclination for me. So after we finished all of that hangout at the park, my friends and I were supposed to go to a pub in King's Cross, and then I'm like, hey, okay, end of the date. Do you want to come with us to King's Cross? At this point, we spent about 6 hours together. And she's like, yeah, sure. So that let me know that, okay, she's not trying to... I think the thing I liked was that we're living in an age now where people will hold back their emotions. They will hold back how they feel because they want to protect themselves, because they want to seem cool. And
they don't want to see like they're too
Yes, they don't want to seem like they're too available.
Yeah. Yes,
they
exactly.
don't want to seem like they're too into you. They feel like they have to play a game. She didn't do any of that. She put all her cards on the table from that day. And that let me know that she was serious. So even when I said, we're going to King's Cross for a drink, do you want to come? She doesn't even drink alcohol. But she still came with us to King's Cross. And my friend was like, wow, you guys look like you've been together for a long time. And it was just so weird because I literally felt the same way sitting next to her at that pub in King's Cross, that this does not feel like a stranger. This feels like somebody I've known all my life. So we get on the train and it's a football night. That means that there's been a football game. And we have to stand in the middle of all these
supporters.
All these, football fans now. They can be very homophobic and they are just carrying alcohol and everything.
Yeah.
And the two of us are in the train. We are all standing because the train is packed. And I'll never forget that moment. We're in the middle with all these big, burly men around us. And we're just like holding each other. Our arms are like wrapped around each other. Because there's nowhere to go.
So we were holding each
and
other.
we're just putting our neck in each other's neck. Yeah. And these men are just trying to look everywhere but us. You know, they are just trying to keep their eyes away from us because you can feel the intimacy, you know. It's so potent in the air. And then we get to where she's supposed to stop, but she doesn't come down. She follows me to my stop. And then she comes down at my stop with me. And then we share a kiss, and she's like, oh, she finally understands what people mean when they say they have butterflies in their stomach. And I'm like, hey!
It's supposed to think I'm a hard guy, man. You're ruining my serious image.
This game is gaming.
It was no game, I promise.
I mean, I can remember the first time I saw, because I knew you.
Yeah.
And then you brought Carol to
you had the thing together and then you asked me to bring her.
Yeah, and she came. And the moment I just saw, please.
She's
Carol,
stunning.
she's beautiful.
Stunning.
She's a black queen. But the moment I saw the two of you together, I think I felt the butterfly as well. There's just something just beautiful about the connection that both of you have. And I know you're like twins, like always watching out for each other and always protecting each other. And I feel that's so very beautiful.
Oh,
thank you. I want to explore something a little bit personal because
of course.
I don't think both of you just get here to this person. Chima, you in particular.
I know. I'm a very difficult person to be with.
I know you. I know you a little bit. And the interesting thing is, for many people who are watching, there's something very fascinating about Chima. Where many queer people have conflict around religion and sexuality, you find comfort in it. Like, you find comfort. You host Bible.
I do Bible studies.
You always put questions. You will pray and all of that. And maybe to many people who are watching who are still asking that question about that, what was it like for you being queer and being so religious? Because you cannot have a conversation with somebody without bringing religion into it.
Yeah. I think for me, all my life, let me just dial it back. So all my life, I've always had that question, you know, of does God accept queer people? That's an existential question that all queer people who are really who grew up around faith have. Does God accept queer people? And when I was young, my mom is like a evangelical Catholic. So that means that 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. midnight prayers, fasting 30 days, like she's like an extremist of Christianity. So the point is that when she's praying, there's always a prayer point dedicated to casting out gay people and all of that stuff.
Hey.
So imagine growing up around all of that, you know, living in fear of being discovered. And then when I was at a crossroad in my life, you know, I had been dating people all my life up to 2017 where they would leave me or it would just not work out well. And I realized that something had to change. That was when it hit me that I've been dating people that put me second place because I didn't think I deserved to be anybody's number one. I didn't think I deserved to be anybody's number one because I thought that I was less because I was queer. And I thought that I was less because I was queer because God does not accept queer people. So they are all interrelated. So in order for me to move forward in my life as a human being, I have to reconcile both or they break apart. And that was the year I found the Holy Spirit. 2017, I call it the most important year of my life. I was sitting in the church one day in the Blessed Sacrament, and I had done all this work to start being able to hear the voice of the Holy Spirit. And I asked the Holy Spirit that day, like, does God love me? Does God accept me? And I'll never forget what I heard that day. The Holy Spirit told me that God made me as I am. I'm supposed to be an example for other queer people to see that God accepts queer people. Not just accepts them, that we will thrive, we will be successful, we will be richly blessed, you know. I've had so many people that have prayed for them that their prayers have been answered. My own life is an example of God answering those prayers. At least I like to believe so because I consider myself as someone who is very successful. But not just successful by my own mind, but successful by the grace of God because I attribute everything to God. So when my friends, even those who are queer and those who are not queer, see me praying and asking God for stuff publicly and then getting those things, it's like they always tell me they have no choice but to believe that God is on my side. You know, when I talk about God with them, when I share things about my faith with them, when I write the reflections that I do for our Bible study, my friends are always like, there is no doubt that God accepts queer people. So in a way, I see it that God created me the way I am because God does not make mistake. He created me this way so that my friends and other people around me in my ecosystem who are not queer can see that queer people are not what they are painted as. We are just like everybody else. We are also Christians. To challenge them and that belief that we are born with, that who does God say we are versus who does the church say we are? Because a lot of that division comes from actually the church, not even the Bible. The Bible is written by human beings. I always make that distinction. And then the third part, which is most important, is that other queer people who are going through that crisis of identity can come to me and say, I'll be looking for community. I'll be looking for a place where I can talk about my religion without feeling like I'm being shamed. Because even within the queer community, so many of us have trauma with religion that they just go an extreme where they hate God and they make fun of Christians who are queer. So they'll be looking for like a safe space, and we can provide that safe space with Bible study, with when I talk about them, with when I meet them in person. So I really feel like God does not hate queer people. It is the church and it is people who have interpreted it the wrong way to fuel their hate that has made it to seem that way.
Yes, Pastor Chima. Amen. Amen. But you are not religious, Carol. Am I right?
I was born and raised a Catholic. I was baptized.
I was actually shocked to hear that, honestly.
I went to Catholic school,
altar servants
school where there were nuns teaching us. I was an altar server at my Catholic church. I was all the distance, but I never truly felt connected. So at university, my first time away from home, I explored different types of religions. There were a lot of the black community there were, Pentecostal, there's a bit of this, bit of that, So I explored, I tried to get some understanding. I'm still on a journey.
But how is it like dating someone like Chima, who is very, very like set in a way in so many things, but especially that religious thing.
Yes. So for me, dating queer people previously, none of them have been religious. They've always had what is deemed as alternative belief systems. But what it's like is she doesn't impose her beliefs and lifestyle upon me or our relationship. This is who her faith is, who she is. It helps her to navigate life, but she doesn't force it on me. I'm on my own journey. If I have questions about anything, I go to her and I ask her. Sometimes I drop in on the Bible study just out of curiosity and to understand a bit more about the thought process, and because I'm still on my own journey about whether or not God accepts me as I am because of the things I've gone through in life. Just why if there is a God in the way that others strongly believe, why have I experienced what I've experienced? What is the purpose behind it? So I am on my own journey, and it's never a point of, if you don't come to church with me, then this, like, I'm worried about your faith. There's none of that. We're both on our own journeys and we support each other's ways of doing things, right?
Yeah. So let's translate from spiritual journey to family journey, right? I would love to hear your coming out story, right? Because I think we all do have one, right? And I would love to hear how you were able to, one, you both are from African families.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've realized is a lot of my guests that are Africans, the story have actually been mixed. I've had guests who are from African family that are very accepting. And I've had people who are from like white European family that are like, it's a no-no. But what was it like for you? Let's start with you, Caro.
Oh, for me, so I'm a very, very, very late bloomer to this. I'm telling you. Like, so I don't mind saying my age. I'm 41 years old. I only started embarking on my queer journey in 2022 officially.
Was it because of COVID? No. Many things happened during COVID, believe me.
There's somebody who was very important in my life. It's called Femi. Femi had a play. They were starring in a play. They are queer themselves. non-binary, and I went to support the play, and I saw a few people there that I knew, and then we gathered afterwards to talk in the foyer cafe bit, and we were just, and I was overwhelmed with this sense of stop hiding, stop lying. These people you're around, you can find community. There's no need to be concealing yourself. And I didn't realize how much I was concealing myself. I thought, yeah, I'm attracted to other people, but isn't everybody? No, everybody isn't. So at the table, it was at the Roundhouse in Camden. We were in the bar. I was sat down and I saw a couple of friends I knew. Femi was there, and I said, and my this amazing person called Dilemma also. I said, guys, I am a gay.
In a typical.
I said, I am, because the subject matter of the play that we'd gone to see was based on queerness and a queer couple from Ghana, and I'm from Ghana, and how it, their journey connect back to the ancestors, and there's a story of queer ancestors there as well. So I just, I can't hide from this too. This play is about Ghana it's about Ghanaians. Me, I'm Ghanaian. It's about, it's for me. Like, I don't believe in coincidences. So that was 2022. And it's been a very interesting journey since then. That was coming up to my friends. Family? Very recent also. Last Christmas.
How did that go?
Last Christmas. So, you know. So last Christmas, so my lovely partner here had to have surgery on her leg, and it was approaching Christmas, and she needed to be cared for. Of course, that's my babe. I'm going to care for her. I'm not going to allow her to spend Christmas by herself. I think the year previous she had gone to spend Christmas at her sister's place, but she would have to take a flight to do that. She wasn't in a state to fly. She's still, recovering from surgery. So I said, why is she will not be by herself on Christmas Day. And my family too, they always have a big Christmas celebration. My auntie's a caterer. She comes and does the food. And I said, came to our parents and I said, listen, can I bring somebody for Christmas? And my dad was like, oh, yeah, you bring it. This is what I want to hear. And my dad was excited for me to bring home a partner.
He didn't know what was coming.
He didn't know what was coming. He said, okay. And I said, it's a woman. My dad, I don't know if he thought by freezing that he would disappear into the ground. He just, like you could see that he didn't know how to process the information. I have quite a good relationship with my dad. My mum, she says, hey, gosh, how long? Let me see a picture. Where's the person from? She had all these questions, and they started processing it in their own way. I didn't end up spending Christmas with them. I decided to spend Christmas with my babe because it was, I think family deserve time to process the information as well, because I've just given them a big bombshell.
Sure.
I can't expect immediate acceptance in the way that I want it. Let them process. I said, okay, I'm going to spend Christmas with my babe. And yeah, that's the story. And they've accepted it. They said, okay, we accept that you have a relationship with a woman, and, it is what it is. They still don't talk about it very frequently, but they acknowledge that it's there. There's an important person.
There's a big thing I'm going to come to later, but I want to hear Chima's.
Mine, there was no drama in mine. I watched a movie. What's that film again? The Greatest Showman.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there was a bearded woman in the show
yes,
that
exactly.
really inspired
that
me.
Song.
Yes. I was so inspired by her fearlessness to live openly as a bearded woman rather than shaving her beard. And I was like, it just got me thinking that if I'm 70 or I'm 80 and I'm looking back at my life, will I be happy with the choices I've made? There's only one life to live. Will I look back and have regrets, knowing that there is no do-over? The people that I'm trying to protect at that time, my parents, my uncles, my relatives, they would have been replaced by their children and their children's children, because there will always be somebody that I'm trying to protect for my own queerness, while they have gone on to live happy, fulfilled lives. And I've had to make sacrifices that they did not ask me to make, because I'm trying to protect them from what I thought was shame. And I realized that I would rather use this one life that I have to live to be happy, and damn the consequences, even if the consequence is death, because I was still living in Nigeria at the time. So My sister came around. I made pepper soup and I told her. She was like, you're bisexual. I thought you were going to say you're a lesbian. And she just continued eating her pepper soup. That was Onyinye, the one after me. And then after I told her, I think I told my elder sister, I told my other siblings, none of them were surprised. They were like, I thought you were a lesbian self. You are bisexual. So there was no drama with my immediate siblings. My cousin had always guessed. He had always known because I'm always bringing girls and I'm saying they're my friends. But he's like, please, you know that those are not friends. And then just because I did not want to start telling people one by one, I just went on Facebook. I put it there. I'm queer.
You're very fearless.
Yeah. I went on Twitter. I went on my LinkedIn. I put the flag.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. I put the flag everywhere so that people just know. And this was when I was still living in Nigeria with no way forward of how I was even going to live. And that was how I came out. And obviously there were a few friends that were lost along the way. But I think, if I'm being honest, I kept 90% of my community, which is more blessed than most people are. And then I came out to my mom when I came to the UK. And when I told her,
it was safe.
Yes, obviously. I told her, and her reaction was actually surprising to me because I expected her to react in a bad way. And she was like, oh, Chima, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure. And she's like, cool, I still love you. But she didn't talk about it again. And then recently, I think when I was recovering from surgery, she was like, how is Caro? I was so shocked. I said, I had to bring the phone out of my ear and like, what? First time acknowledging Caro. She's like, tell Caro I'm asking about her and that I'm praying for her. And tell her thank you for taking care of you because I just had another surgery again. And she was just appreciative. And then I spoke to her 2 weeks ago. No, last week, and then she asked about Caro again. But this time Caro was there, and Caro started running around in the background like a chicken.
I had spot pimple patch on my face. I was like, this is how I'm meeting my in-law for the first time. Hey.
And she just started running around in the background. But, it was the first time my mom was supposed to see her, but she didn't see her because Caro was just running everywhere away from the camera. But she came to the camera. So it's been, honestly, no drama, really good acceptance, minimal friendship loss, and my life is still full.
I love love. And I love beautiful stories, especially when it comes from us. When the world think that we are undeserving. And we find a way to be deserving for ourselves in a way that is so fulfilling, it's so admirable, it's so powerful, but equally powerful, personal as well.
I like what you just said there about we find a way to be deserving. Because I never thought about it like that. We have to take that space because it's not given. I like that.
Yeah, and honestly, okay, there is a game we play on my show. So don't worry, it's not hard. So I usually have a card, but I don't have my card today. So I'm going to ask questions, and you both are going to guess what the other person would do in that situation.
We're going to fail this one. Don't worry, but let's go.
Have some faith now.
So, if your partner is arrested, what crime are you sure they will be arrested for? What crime would they have committed?
For Caro, probably give me somebody a compliment.
Arrested for giving something.
Too much.
Yeah, I stop people in the street to compliment them. Yeah, all the time.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, but arrested. It's supposed to be something
bad
now.
No, really, it doesn't have to be bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be bad. Yeah.
Okay.
So what?
I think that's it. Honestly, that's the only thing I would think of. Maybe giving somebody a compliment on the road.
What do you think Chima will get arrested for?
She'll get arrested for smearing coconut oil everywhere.
What's the story behind that?
House, everywhere there's coconut oil. If you can't find Chima in the house, follow the trail of coconut oil. She loves that thing.
What's about coconut oil?
I just like coconut oil. I want to stay hydrated. Sue me.
Should everybody else also be swimming inside the coconut oil?
I don't fucking care.
So let's talk about buying weird things. What is the weirdest thing you think your partner has ever bought?
Weirdest thing. I feel like you're a very practical person. Maybe, I don't know, maybe buying that coat in 2 colors when you don't need it.
She thinks it's really strange for me to buy the same item in different colors. But for me, once I find something I like...
So if they've had like 10 colors, you'll have bought all of them.
4 colors of
I don't understand it, honestly. I feel like variety is the spice of life, but she has the same winter jacket in 2 colors. Winter jackets.
They only wear for like how many?
Yeah, it's true.
3 months.
I don't know why.
I was just looking like that is a very weird thing to spend money on.
I think it's trauma from years of not being able to find clothes that I like. So when I find something I like in my mind, I'm like.
Oh, that's very
That's
interesting.
a nice way to explain it.
That's
I
very
didn't know that.
interesting.
What's the weirdest thing you would buy?
You're supposed to answer. You're not supposed to
Oh,
ask.
yeah. So the weirdest thing you would buy is.
Apart from coconut oil.
The weirdest thing you would buy is probably some offbeat food, some crazy food, some type of food. This is very controversial to say as an African, but I don't like snails.
I like snails.
I don't like snails. So when I see snails, I'm like,
So she's always buying snails.
yeah, well, she's always got snails somewhere in the house.
She told me to buy snail shit for my face.
Yeah, you see
But
how
snail
it says-
mucin is good for the face. It's very good for hydration.
I hate anything. I think it creeps me out. Anything to do with snail, can you anything snail or slimy?
Yeah, but so you don't use that shit thing on your face.
No.
It's
She does use it.
I've used it before, but I don't use
It's
it.
very
When was the last time
slimy.
I used it? It's very. I don't like it.
You literally
I don't know
asked me
why.
a few weeks ago if I had one.
No, not that one. I wanted the face mask that. You know the pink one that you
Yeah.
gave me, the clay mask. That's
Yeah.
the one that I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got the shirt thing if you want. I can send you one.
No.
So there was a big announcement recently. Everybody get ready. There was a big announcement. Who started it? Who popped the question?
Oh. I feel like you want to answer this one because you love talking about it.
So Dominican Republic. Chima was booked for a holiday to go like last year. She always books her holidays way in advance, and I hadn't booked it. She goes, "Oh, you know, I'm going on the holiday. The friend that was supposed to come has dropped out. Do you want to come with me?" I said, "I've not really ever. It's not my bucket list to go. I'd rather save my money and time to go somewhere else." She goes, "Oh, every so often." She's like, "Oh, please. Oh, yeah, you have to come. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun." This babe cannot keep secrets from me. Do you know what she said? She goes, "Come to Dominican Republic so I can propose to you." Hey,
I'm the worst person to keep it
she
secret.
cannot keep any kind of secret from
Even
me.
our own secret.
Even her own secret. And I said, "Oh, babe, you've spoiled it. But you know what? I will go." Went to Dominican Republic and I had to like clear from my mind that she was about to propose to me. But she said, this one. I even saw the box that the ring comes in the house before we traveled. I said, babe. But it was beautiful. It was it was a hotel. We went to luxury resort first of all, and the resort had this lovely restaurant on the seafront. And we went up the stairs, and then the whole floor was for us. And there were rose petals, and there was a guy with a sign. That said,
Wait. What about lesbians and rose petals? We need to address that thing.
I don't know. I feel like it's just romantic.
There is
rose
no
petals.
lesbian engagement without a rose petal.
It's just romantic.
You know the... We held a pure mind.
As you think you're talking clearly, they can understand what you're saying.
No, why are we obsessed with roses?
I swear. I
don't
swear, I don't know.
Very symbolic.
But to be honest with you, the rose petal. So I worked with the hotel to do the whole proposal, and there was one of the guys at the client service, and he suggested it. He was like, "Oh, should we have like rose petals, everything?" And I was like, he showed me a picture of what it looked like. It looked romantic, and that was it. I did not know that it was a lesbian cliche.
Engagement and everyone.
I just realized now.
We
That
love
Jay
them.
also had
And
rose
roses,
petals.
and they all, everybody has
Everybody's got rose petals.
Hey.
There was one that did the engagement in our house, and it took us 1 year to get rid of all the rose petals. Seriously. We were traumatized.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Imagine.
Valid. I did not know that was a cliche. And now I realize that it's a cliche among queer women to have rose
Rose,
petals.
I think we have an affinity with roses of all sorts.
She was just suggesting that we have roses on the table.
What's that?
You were saying you wanted roses on the table during the wedding reception.
No, not roses, flowers. A special flower, bird of paradise flower.
Oh, correct. I did not know that. Sorry.
See, you can tell who's
And the
who's
beautiful
organising
day
wedding
is
stuff.
coming very soon. I think it's this
Yes,
year.
it's in May.
Yes, this
Oh, that's a very beautiful month to get married.
I know,
month we
right?
met.
It's
Month
the
we
month we met.
I wanted to have it in the summer, but
Yeah. I also wanted to have a summer wedding. Who wants to get married in winter?
But summer
but you
wedding
said
is
you
a
wanted
bit
to-
expensive, and you can't even predict it because it still rains.
still the UK.
Look,
Yeah, we're still in
Getting married
London.
in summer and in London. You already know what it's like already.
We're gonna have a small wedding though.
We're trying to have a small wedding.
I wanted
but
to elope.
She wanted to elope to keep it
Why?
low because
I just like
so you know how weddings are, and you think you have a set price, but something just keeps coming up, and the price keeps going up.
No, it's not even that. I'm not a big fan of crowds or the whole attention being on us or me or anything like that. Yeah, I'm really.
Please speak for yourself. I like the attention.
I mean, realistically, we've been having this discussion for some time now, and you both have this amazing story of how you get here, and then you have this beautiful day coming. What's your reflection about it, and what will you tell, younger Chima, younger Caro, about the life that you have now that maybe 10 years ago you never thought is possible?
That's a great question. You want to go first?
No.
Okay. Honestly, I think I've played a lot of gamble and risk with my life. I've always been a all or nothing kind of person. I went on a celibacy journey where I said I was not going to have sex until I leave Nigeria. Like I was holding myself hostage with sex. That if I don't leave Nigeria, I'm not going to have sex. I've always been that person that was like, I'm either going to have what I want or I will not have anything at all. So if I look back and I tell my younger self, it will be like, you're on the right path. Play those gambles, take those risks. It's going to pay off. It's going to keep you motivated. I would not do anything differently because it is all the choices that I have made that has gotten me here.
This thing you said, I remember the day I came to pick you at the airport and I drove you to the wrong house. And I asked you a question and I said, Chima, what's your plan? Are you going to claim asylum? Do you remember what you told me?
I told you no. I remember I told you no.
Yeah, you told me no.
Even from that day, I knew that is not something I ever want to do. If I'm going to be here, it's going to be on my merit. I also told Karl the same thing when we started dating, that I'm never going to marry you and get a marital visa. I'd rather move to Malta. I'm not even joking. I told her then, and she knew I was serious. I'd rather move to Malta than get a visa that is a spousal visa. If I'm going to be in the UK, it has to be on the merit of my skill. Nothing else. Yeah, I'm always like an all or nothing person. I'm here on a work visa now, because in my head, asylum was not an option. Spousal visa was not an option. Nothing else apart from maybe a global talent or a work visa was going to be an option. Is that all or nothing mindset that's gotten me to where I am?
And then you want yourself this dancer. All
I know,
or nothing.
right?
All or nothing. Caro, what will you tell your younger Caro?
I would say all this people pleasing that you're doing, all this shrinking that you're doing, are you pleased with yourself right now? If not, do it. Do it today, whatever it is, whether it's like accepting my queerness and dating people accordingly, whether it's defying my parents by doing something that they wouldn't want me to do, whether it's like caring about what other people are going to say. Stop being a people pleaser. Please yourself. And the moment you start on that journey, your life is going to change for the better.
There's something RuPaul always say. How can you love yourself? How can you love someone else if you can't love yourself? It might sound like a cliche, but it's such a very powerful thing because you can only give what you have. And these two people, they gave it all so that they can have it all. Thank you, Chima. Thank you, Karl.
I really enjoyed this
for being here.
Honestly.
And honestly, if you really, really, really enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to follow my guests on social media, on IG, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, everywhere. And don't also forget to follow us, to subscribe to this podcast, to share this podcast, to comment on this podcast. And as I always say, I beg you, don't forget to follow me too. So until I see you, same time next week, it is still How I Met My, and I've not changed my name. It's still Bisi Alimi. Thank you and goodbye.